welcome back to another part of the zombie apocalypse series. So today is episode 22. A little preface off the bat is, yes, I am on this side of the screen now. Basically, I have moved my room around, hence why I have a different background, which hopefully you guys like. This is the first video I'm filming with this new background, and hopefully you guys like it. I think it's kind of cute. I don't know. I tried to sort it out yesterday. There's probably a few things that I need to change, but I got a little Chucky in there twice because, you know. Anyways, point is because I've moved around my room, I have to be on this side because my monitors have swapped over, and I do not like myself inverted, so I decided to put myself this way around. Hopefully that's not too bothersome for you guys. I know the rest of the series have been on the other side, but it just makes it easier if I'm on this side for the sake of like me actually looking at the screen. So anyways, in the last episode we ended on the most cliffhanger the world's ever seen. Well, not really, but it felt it to me, because basically we have two new visitors at the door, and the sim that is in front of us right now seems to have known Kristyn because she said Kristyn and then she backed away, and it was very dramatic. However, there was some good things in the last episode because, of course, we had Adeline kind of figuring out she kind of has feelings for Miles, and also Erin and Nico going on a little date and kissing at the end, which you guys seem to be happy about. I know that some of you guys have different ships, therefore, you know, not everyone's gonna be happy with whatever, but hopefully a lot of you do. So we are starting off literally exactly where we ended in the last episode, with this sim backing away from Kristyn, who is stood there apparently chatting to Bo the horse now. Sure. That's totally what I said to do. That's a joke I didn't. So as Miles has walked outside, he goes, "Maia, is that you?" With a slight smile on his face. Maia, who is still looking at Kristyn, turns around to look at Miles, confused, as she is still backing away from Kristyn. With a very tense look on her face, Maia says, "Miles, what are you doing here?" Miles looks over to Kristyn to see if she's gonna say anything, but she is just standing there, not saying a thing, as she's looking up at Maia and Miles chatting, and she has a very, very tense but somewhat scared look on her face. Miles is confused as to why Kristyn isn't answering her fiance right now. This makes zero sense. So he decides to answer for her, and he says, "We found this place to stay a while ago. What are you doing here? This is such a weird coincidence." And Maia responds, "This is my grandparents' house, okay? We came here to find them. Where are they? Are they in there?" Miles looks on over to Kristyn to see if she's gonna, you know, chime in, and apparently Hazel and Charlie must have been her grandparents, but Kristyn isn't saying anything. So Miles responds, "Hazel and Charlie were your grandparents? Maia, they didn't make it. I'm so sorry. I had no idea that you were even related to them. I'd never heard you mention them before. I didn't know that." Maia immediately looks over at Kristyn, staring at her. As her eyes start to well up and she realizes that her grandparents are gone, Maia pushes past the others and runs inside, and she starts shouting, "Nan! Granddad, where are you?" She is checking in every single room, shouting out their names, shouting, "Granddad, please, where are you? You've got to be in here." But after looking around every room, she realizes that Miles is telling the truth and that they really aren't here. Even though she knew it was a long shot that they'd still be alive after being in an apocalypse, she still starts to sob. Whilst Maia has gone inside, Miles comes over to Kristyn to see why on earth she's not saying anything right now, why she's not hugging her fiance, why she's not, you know, comforting her at this time. But as he walks over to her, Kristyn immediately walks off and goes over to the stables, running away as fast as she can. Well, okay, maybe not that fast, but she's walking quite fast away as she goes to sit in the stables instead. Miles watches as Kristyn walks away and is so confused right now as to what on earth is going on. None of this makes any sense to him right now. This just doesn't seem to make any sense. And the one person that he wanted to talk to, and his own sister, is just walking away from him, and it makes zero sense to him at all. Maia is sat on the sofa. Well, is it a sofa? A bench? As she is talking to her friend who sat here as well, and she is sobbing. There is tears rolling down her cheeks, and she is sobbing so much right now, with her friend trying to comfort her to the best that he can. As Miles walks over into the room, Maia says to him, "How the hell did you let this happen, Miles? How did this happen? Tell me right now how this happened. Please give me the details. Tell me what on earth has done this and why my grandparents are gone. Okay, just tell me the truth. I knew I was too late. It was that guy." And Miles looks at Maia, so confused as to why she's currently shouting at him, and he just says, Maia, I had no idea you guys were related. I never heard about your grandparents. I would never have known. They never said any names, but when we got here, Charlie, he was he was turned Maya. And then Hazel, she got, you know, I'm gonna get Kristyn, okay? I'll get her and you guys can talk instead, because I think she'll do a better job at explaining this right now, okay? And Maya just looks at the ground with tears rolling down her cheeks. And when she hears him say that, she starts shaking her head and she just goes, she never told you, did she? And Miles just looks at Maya like, what do you mean? Told me what? Maya wipes away her tears and she says, we broke up, Miles, okay? We broke up a few weeks before all of this happened, and breaking up with her was the best thing I have ever done in my life, okay? Miles just looks at Maya and says, what? I thought you were getting married. I thought you guys were happy, and Kristyn told me that you were getting married. She proposed. This makes zero sense. Maya, what is going on? I don't understand why Kristyn's not coming in here right now. Maya just goes, getting married? Is that what she told you, is it? Is that... Oh, God. I knew she lied to me, but I didn't think she'd lie to you of all people. Guess it makes it a little bit better that she at least lies to everyone in her life, then. So as she's telling this story, she's still trying not to cry, wiping away her tears from all of the emotions from her grandparents. But she says... Miles, we were doing fine, okay? We were great. I mean, you know, we'd only dated for like, what, 5 months, I guess? I don't know. She seemed to remember every single anniversary. I didn't, but yeah. I guess we got serious pretty fast, you know that, right? Like, I met you after like, what, 2 dates? It was kind of unreal. We really rushed into it a lot, but it didn't really matter to us, you know? We moved fast, you know, but I don't know. I guess it seemed right at the time and it felt fine, and, you know, we got pretty close pretty fast. I mean, obviously, you know how we met, you know, my friend told a friend who told a friend that, you know, we'd be good together or whatever, so we just got together and, you know, whatever. Anyways, don't know why I'm telling you this, you already know all of this, right? Anyways, so everything was just, you know, just great. Everything was just great. And like nothing, we had some fights. I'm sure Kristyn probably told you about some of them, or maybe not, I don't know. Apparently she has a tendency to lie, which I already knew, but apparently you didn't know that, so I'm sorry to tell you this, but we had some fights. We, you know, little ones, tiny little fights, never major ones though, you know. It seemed to be going really well, very smooth. It felt kind of right from the beginning, and you know, that's why we were so close so quick. But then one day I caught her checking through my phone. I was very confused because I'd gone to a party the night before, and I guess she'd gone onto my Instagram. She convinced me that it was just that she'd, you know, looked at the time. She just wanted to check the time and her phone wasn't around, and I was like, oh, that's, you know, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that's fine. But then I looked over and I saw that her phone was quite literally 3 feet away from my phone, and I didn't want to question it. I just figured maybe she just missed it, you know, maybe she just hadn't saw it, you know, totally understandable. So a little bit of time went by and nothing out of the ordinary seemed to happen. I didn't mention it to any of my friends or anything. I figured, you know, maybe it was just you know, an accident. She just maybe she thought that my phone was her phone or something, so that was fine. And as you know, like, I've never really been in a relationship before this, so I just kind of thought this was, you know, natural, and I don't know, it just seemed fine, and she convinced me it was fine, so I just thought, okay. But then after that, little things started happening that didn't really add up and made me feel not great at all. Like a little thing, like I went to a concert and she randomly showed up there, even though I told her about the concert and she never mentioned that she was going to it. She never even liked the band, and yet she went. And I was there with my friends and she just was there, and she didn't leave us the whole night. She wasn't with anyone. She just was there, and I just thought maybe she just forgot to mention it, or maybe she just decided to go last minute but not tell me. But then after that, she started never letting me see my friends by myself. It was always, oh, can I come with you? I'm free, even though she wasn't previously free. She just decided to change her plans at the last minute and come with me. Every time I mentioned the fact that I was going out with my friends, she got so jealous that I was around them and I wasn't with her. She just didn't want me to go by myself. And at the beginning, I thought it was sweet, you know, she just wanted to spend more time with me, and it was like a, you know, nice thing to do. But I don't know, looking back, it wasn't right. Like, I should be able to hang out with my friends, right? It felt like she got to the point where she was literally obsessed with me and obsessed with talking to me every single day and obsessed with the idea of me being just for her, and her jealousy, it was just getting out of hand. It didn't seem like how she was acting in the very beginning when we first started dating. It was a whole new side of her that I'd never seen before. It was at this point that I decided to mention it to one of my friends. I thought, this is weird and this doesn't feel like, I didn't mention it in like a bad way, but I just mentioned it, and my friend was like, this is not natural in a relationship. And to even see that friend one-on-one was a challenge. Like, I had to wait until she'd gone to work at school so that I could go and meet up with this friend. It just wasn't natural. But I just thought, you know, maybe maybe she'll change. Anyways, one day she took me to the beach, and I'm sure she already told you this story, Miles, but apparently she kind of changed the ending a little bit because it definitely didn't happen like how she said it happened. So we got to the beach on this lovely day, and she took me over to this lovely little place. You know, there was a whole romantic meal. There was a guitarist serenading us the entire time, and kind of weird that this person was just stood there playing the guitar at us, but I guess it was romantic, and we had a whole day there, you know, sunbathing and whatever on the beach. And then the sun set, and what did she do? She got down on one knee, Miles. I stood there and I was staring at this ring that was in front of me and was held up to me, and I stared at Kristyn's face as she looked so happy and she just wanted me to say yes. But as she was asking the question, I knew damn well that I could not say yes right now. I really could not say yes, but I did. I said yes because I didn't know what else to do, and I didn't know how she'd react if I didn't say yes. The next morning when she woke up, I was gone. I left. I went far away. I went as far away as possible, and I stayed with my friend Xavier, who's the guy with me, and I got away for a few weeks, and then the apocalypse all started. But you know, those few weeks of not having Kristyn in my life honestly was amazing. I know that you're a decent guy, Miles, and I know that that is your sister, okay? I know that, okay? And I know that you're gonna probably take her side no matter what, but the way that she treated me, like, it wasn't right, Miles. It wasn't right. And I can barely look at you right now, Miles, because that's your sister. And Miles just stares over at Maia as she has told this entire story. It's like this story doesn't even sound anything like Kristyn, or at least the Kristyn that he knows. And he just is staring at Maia. He doesn't even know how to think right now. He's just in shock that this is how she's acted to someone, and to someone that he knew as well. And she lied to him for weeks, and still during the apocalypse, she's been telling everyone that they are fiancés, not ex-fiancés. They technically weren't even fiancés. They were fiancés for like, what, a second? He is just in shock, and he's never known her to lie like this before. And as Miles' eyes start to well up, he just hugs Maia. He just pulls her in for a hug, and he just says, Maia, I'm so sorry this happened. And Maia is just resting her head on Miles' shoulder as she is sobbing and as she is not doing well right now. And she can't believe that even this person that she really did not like towards the end would lie to her own brother. Miles just says to the rest of them, guys, please just stay in here for a second, okay? As Miles makes his way over to Kristyn in the stables, Kristyn is sat on the floor with her head in her arms, and she is looking directly at the ground, facing away from the stable. Miles just takes a deep breath in and swallows and says, Kristyn, why did you not tell me about Maia? Why did you lie to me, Kristyn? Why did you not tell me about everything that happened between the two of you? And Kristyn just sits on the floor, not saying a word, still keeping her arms between her knees and not moving a muscle as he is talking. Miles can barely look at Kristyn right now. It makes Miles feel like he literally has never had any idea who his sister was or is and how she treats people. And Miles just says to Kristyn as she's still not talking and says, Kristyn, I know that you're my sister, okay? And I know that I should always be on your side, and I have always been on your side, but this isn't something that I can just forgive and let go of. You hurt Maia, okay? You hurt her a lot, and you acted in a way. You know what? Just stay out here, Kristyn, okay? If you're not going to talk to me, just stay out here and just sleep here. And Miles just walks away from Kristyn, who still hasn't spoken a word, so furious and so in disbelief. He feels like his whole world has just been changed, and his whole view of everything he's ever known has just been altered in the matter of seconds whilst Maia was telling that story, and he doesn't know how to react, how to even begin trying to talk to Kristyn now. Treating someone like that in a relationship is so wrong and so jealous, and just not how you should treat someone in the slightest. Miles comes back inside as everyone in here is just stood in silence, not saying a word, as Maia continues to cry on the sofa. So emotional. Miles just says to Maia and Xavier, look, Maia, please stay here, okay? None of this is right, okay? And I don't know how to even say sorry for what my sister has acted like, but please just stay here, you know? This is where you should be, and you should be with your grandparents, okay? Just please stay here for the night, okay? We have spare beds. not. You could take the double bed or one of the bunk beds, whatever. Just don't leave, okay? And Maia just says, I'm not staying here with Kristyn, Miles, okay? It took a lot of power to be able to leave Kristyn, and I'm not getting trapped back into this, okay? And Miles just says, Kristyn is staying outside. She's not in here. She's not coming in here. And Maia just looks over at Xavier, who is looking quite tired, and Maia's feeling tired because they have traveled all night. Well, for honestly weeks they've been traveling for. So Maia just says, we'll stay here, but just for tonight. Erin decides to introduce herself and also the others to the new people here because hello, okay. Because obviously they've all just heard this story and they've all just found out that this is the place that Maia's grandparents have died in, and they were close with Hazel, you know? So Erin just says, my name's Erin, and this is Adeline. She has a baby in the attic up there. Then this is Tio over here. This is Nico, and obviously, you know, Miles, and yeah. So yeah, this is our little gang. It's lovely to meet you, and I just want to say I'm so sorry about Hazel and Charlie. You know, I didn't know them for very long, you know, but from what we did see of them, like, they seemed great. Like, Hazel loved her family and loved your family more than anything else. Like, she talked about the family so much, and I don't know, it's nice to finally put a face to the name, you know? They just seem like they love their family like a hell of a lot, and you know, she became a bit of a family to us as well. And Maia is just sat there listening to Erin talk about her grandparents, and she is starting to well up again, and she is just to come here and to see this place that she's probably been to a million times and to not see her grandparents' faces is I don't even know how you can, you know, cope with that. Erin just says to Maia, would you like to come out to we have a grave out there for Charlie. We haven't had a chance to make one for Hazel yet, but we made one for Charlie, and we had a funeral, and do you want to come and see it? And Maia just slightly smiles and just nods. So Erin shows Maia where the tomb is. No, not the time. Maia just stands over the grave of Charlie and is just sobbing her eyes out so much right now. Seeing his grave makes it feel even more real than it's felt this whole time. And Erin just puts her arm around Maia's shoulders and is trying to comfort her as the best she can. You know, she's never met her before, but you know, she's going through this and she needs someone there to be comforted by. And Maia is just reading the cards from Charlie and looking at the bunny and all of the little things that they put around here, looking at it with such love. She kind of knew that coming here, there was a very high chance that, you know, they wouldn't be here anymore for one reason or another, but for it to be actually in reality is overwhelming, to say the least. And whilst this is all happening, Miles has gone and sat in the bedroom and he is by himself, and Adeline has decided to come in when she noticed that he is not here. She wanted to check up on him and see where he was. Adeline sits down next to Miles and says, Miles, I'm so sorry that I don't know what to say, okay, but I'm just so sorry. And she starts edging a little bit closer to him, trying to comfort him and hug him. She doesn't really know, like, if she should speak or not, but Adeline has a tendency to speak, even if she probably shouldn't. So she's just like, if you need anyone, like, I'm here. And as Adeline edges closer to Miles just quickly shuffles away across the bed towards the end of the bed, away from Adeline. He just says, Adeline, please just leave me alone, okay? I'm sorry, but I don't want you here right now, all right? And Adeline just looks at him and doesn't say anything, but just walks away. She's not sad that he doesn't want her there. She's just sad that she can't comfort him and make him feel better. Like, you know, the amount of times he's had to do that for her with the baby, and she wanted to help him out as well, but he's not really someone that needs someone there. He kind of just wants to be alone right now and process this by himself. Nico goes ahead and checks on Erin, so they walk on over, but they see that Maia is still crying, and so they don't want to, you know, disrupt this. So Nico just looks on over to Erin and kind of does a weak smile at her, and Erin just looks back at Nico and does the same and just nods slightly, knowing that, you know, Nico just wanted to check up on the both of them and see how they're doing. Oh god, another bath's broke as well. Oh, Miles, I'm so sorry. Oh god, I feel like, oh, he must have broke it himself. He's got to go fix it. And I think that Miles is gonna just decide to just go to sleep. He doesn't really want to think about this anymore. He just wants to go into a dream world and not not think about it. And as much as it took him ages to get to sleep tonight because of every thought going through his brain, he just wants to sleep and forget about this for the moment. Maia is going to go ahead and take the double bed. Obviously, this is her grandparents' bed and she wants to be able to feel close to them again. Just before heading to bed, Nico has seen that Xavier, who is Maia's friend, has just been sat here this whole time and they feel kind of bad that, you know, he's just there. So Nico's just come over and just been like, my name's Nico, by the way. You can go ahead and sleep in the room with Maia and be close to her for the night. And Xavier just says, yeah, that'd be great, thank you. So Nico just shows Xavier into the bedroom with Maia sleeping there, Miles sleeping on the bottom bunk, and now Xavier in the top bunk going to bed. And because of the fact that everyone is sleeping in the beds, Nico has ended up with nowhere to sleep except for on the sofa. But of course, you know, the other two deserve it more than the rest of them, so they are going to go ahead and sleep there, with Kristyn sleeping out underneath the stables, sleeping where Tio usually used to sleep, next to Bo the horse, who is peeing. That is just great timing, and still not saying anything to anyone. So anyways, guys, that is where I'm going to leave it this episode. So I just want to say that this storyline with Kristyn has been planned from literally when I first, had planned this story. I knew I wanted one of the characters to not be good. Kristyn acting like that, you know, has she done it in past relationships? I don't know. But with Maia, acting like that is not right. And you should not act so obsessed and so jealous with a partner. That is just not how to act at all. So naturally, everyone is on Maia's side, which as they should be. But yeah, I knew that I wanted one of the Sims to not be a perfect person. I mean, none of them are perfect, let's just say that, but Kristyn in particular, is not a good person. And I was very scared to do this story because I feel like a lot of you guys liked Kristyn, but honestly, not everyone is a good person. Obviously, that is not human life. And so I wanted to make a Sim that wasn't good and wasn't, you know, like the rest. Also, yes, Maia is the granddaughter of Hazel and Charlie. A lot of these plot points I kind of have planned out from the very beginning. So the minute they got here, I was like, okay, so Maia's definitely gonna be the granddaughter of them. I think that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, Kristyn and Hazel barely spoke, so Hazel never would have mentioned Maia's name to Kristyn because they literally never spoke to one another. Why would they? Erin and Adeline and Tio all knew about Maia, but obviously they weren't gonna remember that Kristyn had said, oh yeah, my fiance Maia, and then, you know, they wouldn't have remembered that, and also they wouldn't put two and two together. Why would you just think that? It's a weird coincidence. So yeah, I feel like this was a really emotional episode. Basically, I feel like I'm doing one emotional episode, one happy episode, one emotional episode, one happy episode, but I definitely wanted to do this one, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it, even though it was definitely a sad one. Everything about this episode was sad, but again, I don't think it's right for everything to be perfect, and I don't know. Anyways, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let me know what you think is going to happen in the future of this series. Sorry if the lighting was a little bit weird. I've had to have my window open. It's kind of odd. Anyways, remember to like and subscribe to if you want, and I'll see you guys in the video. I love you guys. Bye.